Hi boys and girls, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's class we are going to discuss about the do while loop. In the previous classes we discussed about the what? In the previous classes we discussed about the for and while loop. And if you check, I used the same loops to solve the same problems. Okay, wow. The for loop can be used to generate the even numbers between the given range. A while loop can be used again to generate the even numbers within the same range. Okay, this is very important. Again, I'm going to use the do while loop to generate the even numbers between the given range. Okay, so what is the difference? What is the difference between these three loops? Syntax. Okay, how are you going to write the program using these loops is different. There is the syntax for the for loop. There is also another syntax for the what? For the while loop. This one is completely different. See, if the condition is not met, let's say you are running a program, you have written a program using the for loop, and you are running the program. If you run the program, if the condition is not being satisfied, what will happen? The compiler is not going to enter into the what? It is not going to enter into the for loop. So nothing is going to be printed. Okay, so there is a possibility that the first test will fail in the for loop. There is a possibility that the first test will fail in the what? In the for loop. Let's say I'm saying int I. Okay, this is the declaration. Now I write for I is what? I is equal to 0. Okay, now, or let's say I is equal to 12. I is equal to 12. Now I'm going to say I is less than or equal to 10. Okay, now I'm going to say I plus plus. Okay, then write printf percentage d backslash n. Okay, like this. Then I'm going to write I want to print the value of what? Of I. Then you close. Return 0. Okay. Suppose this is the program. Please write int main and write hash include stdio. This is the program. Let's check that. What is going to happen? Yes, this is the declaration. It's okay. Here I is equal to 12. Some space is allocated for value for this variable I, and 12 is there. What is the memory address? It's 220. Okay, right. So see, it is going to check now. The compiler is going to check. 12 is less than or equal to 10. This is false. 12 is greater. 12 is greater. So the compiler is not going to enter inside. The compiler is not going to enter inside. Okay, but it is going to print the statements outside of the for loop. Here there is nothing. So this program is going to return nothing. Nothing is going to be printed here. It is going to return nothing. Why? Because the condition has failed in the first test itself. So it means what? This for loop is not going to be executed. If the condition is wrong, if the condition is not being satisfied, it means what? Nothing is going to be printed. So see, in the case of a for loop, if the condition is not being satisfied, what is going to happen? Nothing is going to be printed. This for loop is not going to be executed. The for loop is not going to be executed. Let's check in the case of a while loop. Suppose for while loop we are also supposed to initialize first. Int I is equal to 10. Okay, suppose int I is equal to 10. Now I, while I is what? Is greater than 20. Okay. Printf percentage d backslash a. I want to print what? The a value. Okay. Here I'm going to increment I plus plus. Okay. Then you close. Return 0. Okay. It's okay. Please, you write int main. What's this hash include stdio? This is the program. See what is going to happen. Some space is allocated for the variable I. And this I is storing what? Is storing 10. Suppose this is 300, that this is the memory address. Now it is going to check. While 10 is greater than 20, this is false. 10 is greater than 20. This is false. 10 is less than 20. So the compiler is not going to enter. Okay, ba? It is not going to execute this while body. It is not going to execute this what? This body. It is going to try, it is going to print all the statements which are just below the while body. There is nothing here. So it is not going to print anything. It is going to print nothing. It is going to print nothing. So what is happening again? In the first test itself, the condition is not being satisfied. So nothing is going to come. It is going to print nothing. Okay, but see, in the case of the do while loop, the execution will always happen at least once. Okay, in the first case, if the condition is not being satisfied, what is going to happen? Only one output is going to come. In the first case, if the condition is not being satisfied, only one output is not going to come. Because in the first test, the condition is not going to be checked. I'm going to write the syntax of the do while loop. Then only you can understand what I'm trying to say here. This is the general syntax. So here we are supposed to initialize. After initializing, do. Okay, you write statements in do. Okay, let me write statement here. Then you write while. Then here you write the condition. Then semicolon. So this is the general syntax. See, the while the condition is being checked at the last. The condition is being checked at the last. The condition is being checked after the execution of these statements. This is the general syntax. You are supposed to initialize. Then the compiler should do this. After doing, then it is supposed to check for the condition. Okay, so this is the general syntax. So what I am trying to say, it is executed at least once. If this condition is not being satisfied, only one output will come. It is going to print this. Output will come. Here it is going to check. Okay, after checking, what is going to happen? After checking here, if the condition is not being satisfied, then it is not going to enter again. So here we have statements. We also have increment, increment or decrement. We have increment or decrement there. So statement and increment or decrement are there. So here we want to write a C program. To print the first n natural numbers. Okay, we want to write a C program to print the first n natural numbers. This is the question using the do while loop. Okay, so what are natural numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, likewise, right? These are what we call natural numbers. So you're supposed to write a program, and this program should give this output. Now I'm going to write hash include stdio.h int main. Okay. Now I'm going to write int n printf enter the value of n. How many natural numbers do you want to print? Okay, now scanf d ampersand n. It's okay. Now I'm going to say int I. Okay, suppose I is equal to 0. Yeah. I is equal to 0. Now I'm going to say 2, right? I'm going to say 2 printf. We want to print percentage d backslash and this. What we want to print? We want to print I. Then close. Here I'm going to write I plus plus. Then close. Like this. Here you write while what? I is less than or equal to n. This is over. Then after this, write C. This is the program. This is the program. So let's find out the logic behind the program. Hash include stdio.h is the preprocessor directive which is going to be checked. The compiler is going to check for the main function int main. This is checked. Now it is here, it is going to enter into the main function. So the compiler is now executing statements in the what? In the main function. How it is going to execute? It is going to execute sequentially. Okay, wow. It is going to visit this statement, then this statement, then this statement, then this statement. Likewise, it is going to continue. What is the meaning of this statement to the compiler? It means there is a variable n. This variable is going to store n integer. Okay, wow. This variable n is going to store n integer. Some space is allocated for the variable n. Okay, wow. So this is n. Suppose the memory address is 500. This is over. Printf, enter the value of n. So this is part of your output. So I'm going to write the output here. Enter the value of n. Okay, right? Enter the value of n. Suppose you are entering the value of n. Let's say it's 5. Okay, you have entered 5. This 5 is not going to be stored here. Why? Because this statement is yet to be executed. Okay, right? This value will come here only after the execution of this scanf function. Remember, the scanf function is used to take the input values. Okay, well, it is used to take the input values. It is used to read the input values. Now, scanf percentage d ampersand n. The value of n now, the value now is being directed to the address of what? Of n. The value that we have entered here is now being directed to the address of n. So now 5 will come here. It's okay. See, here I have this statement. What is this statement? This statement is declaring a variable I. At the same time, it is initializing this I. Okay, so this is going to happen in the computer. This is going to happen in the machine itself. I is being declared. At the same time, it's being initialized. Suppose the memory address is 220. Here we are. Now, the compiler is being told to do this, to print this. Okay, so there is no condition. No condition is going to be checked here. There is nothing to be checked. Okay, so directly the compiler is going to enter inside. Okay, and it is going to print the value of what? Of I. It is going to print the value of I. What is the value of I? The value of I is 0. So 0 is going to come. 0 is printed. After printing this 0, the value of I is what? Is incremented. The value of I is what? Is incremented. It is incremented from 0 to what? It is incremented from 0 to 1. Remember, I plus plus, it means I is equal to I plus 1. So I is equal to 0 plus 1, which is equal to 1. It is incremented to 1. Now the condition is going to be checked. What is the value of I? Is 1. This 1 is going to be checked. Not 0. After incrementation, the value of I is 1. So 1 is less than or equal to n. What is the value of n? Is 5. Yes, 1 is less than 5. This is true. If this is true, what is going to happen? The compiler is going to enter into this do while loop again. Okay, what is the meaning of this? The value of I should be printed. Here now the value of I is 1. So the value of I should be printed now. here this is now 1. The value of I should be printed now. So what is the value of I now? The value of I is 1. I value is incremented again. It's now I is equal to 1 plus 1. What is the new value of I? Is 2. Okay, right? Now the value of I is 2. It is going to check while 2 is less than 5. Yes, 2 is less than 5. So what is going to happen? It is going to enter again into the do while loop. I is now 2. I is now 2. Okay, right? What is going to happen? 2 is going to be printed. Now 2 will come. Okay, right? After printing these 2, 2 is going to be incremented. Okay, so I is equal to 2 plus 1. The new value now of I is 3. It is going to check. 3 is less than or equal to 5. Yes, 3 is less. This is now 3. 3 is less. Okay, right? It will come again. Okay, 3 is going to be printed. Now 3 is there. After printing this 3, what is going to happen? The value of I is incremented. It is going to be incremented from what? From 3 to 4. Now the new value of I is 4. Now here I have 4. It's okay. Do this. 4 is going to be printed. 4 is going to be printed. Okay, right? Now I have what? I have 4. Okay. Let's move on to the next part. What is going to happen? The value of I is incremented. It is going to be incremented from what? It is going to be incremented from 4 to 5, which means now I have I is equal to 4 plus 1, which is I is equal to 5. Now my value of I is 5. Here is 5. Is this okay? Yes, this is 5. Let's check panel. Now 5 is going to be printed. Now 5 is going to be printed. Now I have 5 here. After this 5 is going to be incremented. Okay, 5 is going to be incremented. It is going to be incremented from what? From 5 to 6. Now the value of I is 6. Okay, wow. Now it is going to check. 6 is less or equal to 5. This is false. So 6 is not going to be printed. So the last value in I is 6 here. The last value of I is 6. Now it is checking. 6 is less than 5. This is false. So this is not going to be printed. So this is the output. So these are the first n natural numbers. So if I'm saying the first 5 natural numbers, it means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 should come. This 0 should not come. Okay, so here I made a mistake. Now, this 0 should not come. Because we are saying natural numbers, they are starting from what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, likewise they are going. Okay, so if you don't want to print this 0, it means you are supposed to start by initializing I as what? As 1. So the first value of I is 1. So when you are running the program, if you want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to be printed, please make sure here I is equal to 1. Thank you very much, boys and girls. I will see you in the next class.